Hey guys, I'm gonna do a quick video on changing oil on the 2020 Ram 1500. So I want to put it up on um, the left in order to do it. So here's a cheater idea. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to up this thing. So this is the air ride equipped vehicle, and this right here is now lifting my vehicle up appreciably. I don't know if you can tell, but I am now getting raised up quite a few inches, so that helps me with changing the oil. But anyways, so it went into the off-road 2 mode, which means I got a pile of clearance and I really can just go on underneath there and change the oil without having to put it on ramps or anything. As it is, it's pretty high, but doing this lifts it pretty higher. So as you can see, this truck is pretty high, and for me to get to the I'm reaching clean over there and I can barely get to the oil fill, so I end up using a step ladder. I'm pretty short, I can't reach that far, and this is way too high. So before draining oil, I just tend to take the fill in, and as you can see, this asks for 5W20 engine oil, and I tend to go with the synthetic. When the truck is at its highest, the best way to get in underneath it is sliding behind the front right wheel, and that gets you easiest access. Okay, so the drain plug is right there, and it's a 13 mm socket that you'll need in order to take the drain plug off. Unfortunately, as you can see, it just is right above the torsion bar, so it is, sorry, zoomed in instead of zooming out. So there's a torsion bar right there, and the drain plug is right in there. So it makes for an interesting thing. You will end up getting some oil in here. I did try cutting off a piece of oil can and shoving it in there in order to try to catch the oil and do all of that good stuff. It really didn't make much of a difference. It didn't allow me to save much. So you can try. I am gonna try it so you can see what I'm trying to do here. So if you can see, I made this, I don't know, I just cut a quart oil can, and it's kind of like something that I'm gonna try to slide in back in there so that hopefully the oil doesn't drain out this way and comes out. So you can see it kind of lines up with the one second, let me see if I put some light into the subject. Sorry about that. You can see it's right in there, so try to drain it off. It's going to be fun, and in my past experience, it has been rather interesting trying to get that knot off and get that on there. So I have my drain pan sitting down in here and got that all lined up in there. Well, as you can see, the quart jerk trick didn't really quite work as well, because I ended up just dumping the stuff anyways. I'll just clean up the torsion bar. I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm just trying to keep it clean, whatever. But that's where we are. I'm gonna take the oil filter out here in a minute. So this is me looking up from underneath the truck. As you can tell, so I'm looking straight up, and there is the oil filter, and right below the oil filter is your steering rack. So of course, when you take your oil filter off, it's going to drain right on top of your steering rack, which makes it fun. So that's a different view of the oil filter from in front, looking up, trying to give a perspective. Running them. So this is the front of the truck right here. I'm crawling underneath, and it's on the passenger side. And I have the thing hanging in here. That's up in here is the best way that you can see it. And since I got a Canon in there, it's got a 1-inch nut, actually like a bolt head stuck on it. Let me see if I can get this a tight place to take a video at, but I can see what I can do. Yeah. This is, looking here, this is the active air dam system that lowers down at speeds in order to create more aerodynamic. Well, I don't know if it creates a drag, because if it creates a drag at higher speeds, that might be not a good thing, but hey, whatever. These are the aerodynamics, guys. Anyways, let's see if we can get a... Okay, so we can see the filter there, and I'm going to try to... Oh, this is a new experience. This is what doctors do when they try to get... Okay, this is better. Let's see if I can get this thing. Well, laying where I'm laying, I can't see what I'm doing, and I'm kind of trying to use the phone in order to see what I'm doing, which makes for an interesting situation. Bear with me. Hopefully I'll be able to get it. Oh, maybe I'll just use the other hand. Gives me a little bit more leeway. I don't think I'll need a lot of torque. You can see it's starting to work. Just need it loosened up enough that I can grab it with my hand and get it loose. Jeez. Definitely got a pile of stuff in here. Let me see if I can get this out of the way. Okay, that's better. I think I should be able to loosen it up. Yes, I can. Look at that. Alright. This is where I'll probably get a pile of oil everywhere. This is not nice because there's a... I bet you this is an electric steering, and right here is my steering... Well, no, that steering rack's right there. No, this is the steering rack. So right here is the power steering rack motor, right underneath where my oil dumps off the filter. You can see the filter back in there. That is great. Alright. I am going to take a piece of plastic and throw it on top of this whole assembly before I dump it out, because that's dumb. That's not a good place to be at. Well, the best that I could do was just grab a little plastic bag and throw it on top of there to try to kind of cover it up so that when I let the oil out, it doesn't go all through that steering wheel. Well, the plastic worked pretty good because it ended up that I really didn't get any oil on that steering motor, and as you can see, right down there is up there, right there is where the oil filter goes in. Trying to get that oil filter up in there is rather interesting. You gotta work it in up. You can see it. And as usual, standard procedure, definitely make sure that the seal on the new oil filter is got oil on it, because if you don't, you are going to regret it when you go to open it. Actually, you know what, I'm going to take that thing off and I'm going to put a little bit extra oil in it, just because I do not like having to deal with an oil filter that doesn't want to come off, because I'm just getting some oil off of the drainage from the drain plug and just getting on there. Honestly, I don't care that this is not the good oil and this is the older oil, because all it's doing is lubricating that seal so that when I go to take it off next time, it's not going to be a pain. I see people that crank their oil filters on with a wrench, and I don't do that. It is threaded on a long ways, and it really should be just hand tightened. There is no reason to take a wrench to an oil filter. And also, not oiling that thing is a bad idea, because like I said, it becomes a pain to take it off. So, and again, just hand tighten that thing, and right about there is good enough. My hands are kind of sliding off and I am good, and that pretty much is it. I mean, then you just dump the oil in and go through the regular process of an oil change like any other oil change. Check your levels, let it run, let it cool down, check it again, and it's all good. The only other thing that I'm going to check and make sure is how much oil this thing takes. I'm going to assume somewhere around 8 quarts. It's been a while since I've done this, and I get mixed up amongst cars, so I'll check that and I'll just put that in as the last part. That's it, guys. If you like it, let me know. Thanks. And if you have questions, let me know. The oil filter that you need for that oil change is HP1017 if you're going with the K&N, and that's what I used. I mean, it's not a big deal. You can find whatever. I couldn't find a Mopar. I don't think K&N makes a bad filter, so that's what I went with. But that's the number if you're looking for, is HP1017, and that up there is a 1-inch nut on it. Guys, one last step. I need to reset the oil. So this is what I got from the internet, and you just take your foot off the brake and put this in run, and then hit the gas 1, 2, 3 times, and then turn it back off, and then start the truck. I can't see anything on this thing that says that my oil life has been reset.